How does one make the absence of contact speak louder than the presence of words? That, dear listener, is the riddle we unravel today. Imagine now, if you will, a fortress. Not a medieval ruin overrun with ivy, but a marvel of modern engineering. Its walls are smooth, impenetrable, and unyielding. A citadel of solitude built not for glory, but for survival. Inside resides the avoidant, a curious creature of contradiction. They crave connection, yet fear it. They yearn for closeness, yet find its touch unbearable. This fortress, you see, was not constructed in a moment. It was shaped brick by experiences that taught them vulnerability was a danger, not a delight. And here lies the tragedy. What was once their protection has now become their isolation. Now, here's the rub. No contact, that brilliant stroke of tactical silence, is the one thing that rattles the avoidance fortress. Oh, they won't admit it outright. Heaven forbid they lower their drawbridge and confess to missing you. No, they'll do what they do best. Bury their feelings beneath layers of stoicism and distraction. But here's what truly happens behind those walls. First, they feel the sting of loneliness. Not the garden variety solitude one chooses, but a profound, aching void that whispers of your absence. They miss not just your presence, but the quiet comfort you brought. The way you steadied their world without demanding too much in return. And isn't that the exquisite irony? The very space they craved now becomes the thing they loathe. In the silence, they hear echoes of your laughter, your kindness, your quirks. Oh yes, even your flaws. They miss those too because love, as maddening as it is, embraces the imperfections with as much fervor as the virtues. Ah, but there's more. No contact serves another purpose. It holds up a mirror. For the avoidant, who is accustomed to pushing people away, this reflection is not always flattering. They begin to see themselves not as the unflappable, independent figure they project, but as someone who has, perhaps, misstepped. The guilt creeps in. That sneaky devil, whispering truths they've tried so hard to ignore. You see, avoidance is not born of apathy, but fear. A fear of being unable to meet expectations, of being found wanting. And when you step away, you remove the dynamic that allowed them to project their discomfort onto you. In the quiet aftermath, they must confront the uncomfortable reality. They pushed you away not because of who you are, but because of who they fear they are. Memory is a funny thing, isn't it? It has a way of softening edges, of coloring the past in hues more vivid and tender than reality often merits. The avoidance mind is no exception. As the days stretch into weeks, they find themselves revisiting moments shared with you. The smell of your perfume, the sound of your laughter, the way you tilted your head when deep in thought. These fragments form a tapestry that is both beautiful and haunting. And then comes the longing, not a dramatic, sweeping epiphany, mind you. The avoidance heart does not deal in grand gestures. No, it's quieter. A sudden pang when they hear a song that reminds them of you. An ache when they see someone who bears a passing resemblance to you. They begin to wonder, have I made a mistake? Is it too late? This brings us to the most fascinating aspect of no contact, its power to disrupt the avoidant's sense of control. You see, they are accustomed to being chased, to having the upper hand. Your absence upends this dynamic. It forces them to grapple with the possibility that you may not come back, that the decision to reconnect is no longer theirs alone. It's a humbling experience, one that strips away the facade of indifference and exposes the vulnerability beneath. And in this state, they begin to see you not as the too much partner they once labeled you, but as a person of value, strength, and independence. Now, if and when the avoidant ventures to lower their drawbridge, they do so cautiously, tentatively. A comment on your social media here, a casual text there. It's their way of testing the waters, of gauging whether it's safe to approach. But here's where your role becomes paramount. You must meet them not with desperation, but with grace, not with urgency, but with patience. Remember, this is not a sprint, but a delicate dance. The steps must be measured, the rhythm steady. Let them see that while you welcome connection, you no longer tether your worth to their approval. And so we arrive at the heart of the matter. Should you take them back? Ah, what a question. The answer, as you might expect, is not simple. Reconnection is not a fairy tale ending, but a beginning, a chance to build something new, something better. But it requires intention, clarity, and above all, mutual effort. Ask yourself, have they shown a willingness to grow, to confront their fears? Have you done the same? Can you meet each other not as the people you were, but as the people you aspire to become? Let me leave you with this. Love is not the absence of struggle, but the presence of commitment. It is the choice to stand by someone not despite their flaws, but because of their humanity. Whether you choose to reconnect or to walk away, do so with wisdom, with courage, and with an unwavering commitment to your own worth. For in the end, the greatest lesson of love is this: the most important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. And if you nurture that, my friends, you will find that no matter what happens, you are always enough. So go forth with your head held high and your heart steady. The dance of love is a complicated one, but it is also, in its own way, the most beautiful dance of all.